Good evening. Welcome. Tonight, we embark upon a shared journey toward profound peace and understanding. Zen Buddhism offers a gentle path for quieting the mind and softening the heart, guiding us toward deeper states of rest and insight. Before we truly begin, if you feel inclined, please share the country you are listening from and what time it is in your local area. From which part of this vast world do you find yourself breathing with us? This evening's journey is a sanctuary for inner growth, designed to soothe your thoughts and awaken your inherent wisdom. Here, you are invited simply to exist, to breathe, and to let the gentle rhythm of spoken words guide you inward, toward your own quiet center. You already possess everything essential for this moment. We are merely rediscovering the deep wellspring of peace residing within you. Should these reflections resonate deeply, please return whenever you seek this tranquil sanctuary. Consider subscribing to keep this haven of calm readily accessible. Now, take a soft, deep breath and settle into this present moment as we gently turn our attention to the simple yet profound act of breathing, the very anchor of our existence, guiding us to the flow of conscious breathing. The flow of conscious breathing. Tonight, we begin by anchoring our awareness in the gentle rhythm of our own breath, a constant companion that has been with us since our first moment of life, often unnoticed, yet always present. This simple, intimate act is a powerful gateway to the present moment, a silent guide that can lead us away from the swirling currents of thought and into a state of profound calm and full presence. There is nothing you need to change, nothing you need to force, merely an invitation to observe, to feel the subtle rise and fall, the cool air entering and the warm air leaving your body. This conscious connection to your breath is a fundamental practice in cultivating inner peace, allowing us to find stillness even amidst the busyness of life, a quiet refuge that is always accessible within you, a true wellspring of tranquility that flows without end. In a small village nestled beside a meandering river lived a young monk named Kaito, whose mind often danced with worries about his studies and his duties. He sought solace by the riverbank, drawn to the ceaseless, effortless movement of the water. One afternoon, as sunlight dappled through the willow trees, casting shifting patterns upon the water's surface, Kaito sat in quiet contemplation. He watched as leaves, twigs, and small ripples flowed downstream, each carried along by the river's gentle, unwavering current. He noticed the river never rushed, never hesitated, simply moved with a quiet, persistent grace, accepting all that came into its path and carrying it onward. The air was still, save for the soft rustle of leaves and the distant call of a bird, creating a serene backdrop for his quiet observation. Kaito observed the water's surface, reflecting the sky and the trees, a mirror of the world, yet the river itself remained distinct, flowing beneath the reflections. He began to notice how his own breath mirrored this natural flow, sometimes shallow, sometimes deep, sometimes quickened by a passing thought, sometimes slowed by a moment of calm. He allowed his attention to rest on the sensation of each inhalation and exhalation, feeling the slight expansion in his chest, the subtle contraction in his abdomen. It was as if his body was a river, and his breath, the current, moving through him, carrying away the flotsam of his anxious thoughts. This simple yet profound realization brought a quiet smile to his lips, a sense of deep connection to the life force within him. As Kaito continued his mindful observation, he found that the incessant chatter of his mind began to subside, replaced by a spacious silence. The worries that had burdened him moments before seemed to dissolve like mist under the morning sun, no longer holding their tight grip on his awareness. He felt a profound sense of lightness, a liberation from the weight of his mental preoccupations. The river continued its journey, and so did his breath, each a perfect example of effortless being, a gentle reminder that life unfolds in its own time, with its own rhythm. He realized that the river did not resist the stones or the branches it carried. It simply allowed them to be part of its journey, just as he could allow his thoughts to pass without resistance, without judgment. This practice of focusing on the breath, known as anapanasati in the Buddhist tradition, is a powerful tool for cultivating mindfulness and full presence. It is not about controlling the breath, but rather about observing it with gentle awareness, allowing it to be exactly as it is, without attempting to alter its natural rhythm. Each breath becomes an anchor, a tether to the present moment, pulling us away from the distractions of the past or the anxieties of the future. Through this simple yet profound act of conscious connection, we begin to develop a deeper sense of inner stability and calm, realizing that the breath is always there, a reliable constant amidst the ever-changing landscape of our inner and outer worlds, always available to bring us back to our center. By engaging in anapanasati, we are essentially training our minds in equanimous observation, learning to witness our internal experiences without judgment or reaction. We simply watch the breath, and as thoughts inevitably arise, we gently acknowledge them and then return our attention to the physical sensations of breathing. This consistent, compassionate return strengthens our capacity for sati, or mindful awareness, allowing us to develop a greater sense of peace and clarity. This practice is not about achieving a perfect state of stillness, but rather about cultivating a gentle acceptance of what is, moment by moment, recognizing that even the most turbulent waters can find calm when observed with a steady and open heart, leading to a profound sense of inner freedom. The great Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh, whom we can call Thich Nhat Hanh for ease of pronunciation, often reminded us, breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is a wonderful moment. This simple yet profound teaching encapsulates the essence of conscious breathing, highlighting its dual power to soothe the physical self and uplift the spirit. It encourages us to find joy and gratitude in the fundamental act of being alive, recognizing the inherent wonder in each passing breath. These words serve as a gentle reminder that true peace is not found in seeking external circumstances, but in cultivating an internal landscape of calm and contentment, accessible through the gateway of our own breath. Thich Nhat Hanh's words invite us to integrate the breath, not just as a physiological function, but as a deliberate practice of self-care and presence. When we consciously breathe in, we bring a sense of tranquility to our physical form, releasing tension and softening our muscles. When we consciously breathe out, we release not only carbon dioxide, but also stress, worry, and any accumulated mental burdens, allowing a gentle smile to arise from a place of genuine relaxation. This intentional engagement with our breath fosters a deep connection to the present moment, allowing us to truly inhabit our lives with awareness and appreciation. It is a daily practice, a continuous opportunity to return to our center, to find our anchor in the vast ocean of existence. As you continue to rest, allowing your body to soften and your mind to quiet, let the gentle rhythm of your breath become your sole focus. There is no need to chase thoughts or feelings, Simply observe them as they come and go, like clouds drifting across a vast blue sky. Each inhalation is an opportunity to gather peace, and each exhalation a chance to release any remaining tension or resistance. This is your space of calm, your personal sanctuary, where the world outside gently fades and your inner world comes into soft, clear focus. Allow yourself to be fully held by this experience of deep rest and presence, knowing that you are exactly where you need to be, safe and secure in this moment. Now, as your awareness deepens with each gentle breath, we prepare to explore another profound aspect of our existence, one that teaches us about the ever-changing nature of life itself. We will gently shift our attention from the constant flow of our breath to the universal truth that all things are in motion, always transforming, always new. Allow your breath to continue guiding you as we prepare to embrace the dance of impermanence, finding liberation in the understanding that nothing truly stays the same, and everything is in a constant state of becoming, embracing the dance of impermanence. Tonight, we turn our gentle attention to the profound truth of impermanence, a fundamental principle that underlies all existence. Everything around us and within us is in a constant state of flux, continuously changing, evolving, and transforming. From the smallest atom to the grandest galaxy, from our fleeting thoughts to the seasons that cycle through the year, nothing remains fixed or eternal. Understanding and accepting this ceaseless dance of change, known as anicca in Buddhist philosophy, is not a cause for sadness, but rather a profound source of liberation. It frees us from the futile struggle to hold on to what is inevitably passing, allowing us to greet each moment with openness, acceptance, and a deep appreciation for its unique, transient beauty, fostering a sense of inner freedom that transcends fleeting conditions. In a quiet village nestled amongst rolling hills, lived a dedicated gardener named Ren, whose life revolved around the vibrant cycles of nature. Ren spent countless hours tending to his beautiful garden, watching with keen eyes as tiny seeds sprouted into robust plants, as delicate buds blossomed into magnificent flowers, and as lush green leaves eventually withered and fell, returning their nutrients to the earth. He experienced the joy of spring's vibrant arrival, the warmth of summer's full bloom, the rich hues of autumn's gentle decay, and the quiet stillness of winter's deep rest. Each season brought its own unique beauty and its own lessons, a continuous unfolding story written in petals and soil, a testament to the ceaseless motion of life itself, a reminder of the ever-present natural flow. Ren, initially, found himself clinging to the beauty of the summer blossoms, feeling a pang of sadness as their vibrant colors faded and their petals began to drop. He would try to preserve them, to hold on to their fleeting perfection, only to realize the futility of his efforts. Each attempt to resist the natural progression of life brought him a subtle sense of suffering, a quiet ache in his heart. However, as years passed and seasons continued their unwavering rotation, Ren began to observe with a deeper understanding. He saw that the wilting leaves were not an end, but a necessary part of the cycle, nourishing the soil for the next generation of growth. The bare branches of winter held a stark beauty, promising the vibrant rebirth of spring, an embodiment of the profound wisdom of impermanence. Through his patient observation, Ren came to see that true beauty lay not in the permanence of any single flower, but in the entire, magnificent cycle of growth, decay, and renewal. He learned to appreciate the ephemeral nature of each bloom, savoring its presence fully, knowing it would eventually pass, making way for something new. This understanding brought him a profound sense of peace and a deeper connection to the rhythm of life. He realized that just as the garden was always changing, so too was his own inner landscape, his thoughts and feelings constantly arising and passing, like the clouds in the sky. This realization was a form of liberation, a letting go of the need for things to be other than they are, embracing the truth of anicca with an open heart. The Buddhist teaching of anicca reminds us that all conditioned phenomena are impermanent. This includes not only the external world, but also our internal experiences, our thoughts, emotions, sensations, and even our sense of self. When we resist this fundamental truth, when we cling to pleasant experiences or try to push away unpleasant ones, we create trishna, a form of craving or thirst, which inevitably leads to suffering. By understanding and accepting impermanence, we begin to cultivate detachment, not as indifference, but as a freedom from grasping. This allows us to engage with life more fully, appreciating its transient beauty without the burden of expecting it to last forever. To truly embrace impermanence is to live with a heightened sense of gratitude for each moment as it unfolds, recognizing its precious, fleeting nature. It encourages us to savor the warmth of a sunny day, the comfort of a loved one's presence, or the simple joy of a delicious meal, knowing that these experiences are gifts to be cherished in the now. It also helps us navigate difficult times with greater equanimity, understanding that pain and sorrow, like joy and pleasure, are also impermanent and will eventually pass. This perspective fosters a deeper sense of inner resilience, allowing us to move through life's inevitable ups and downs with grace and a quiet strength, fully present for whatever arises. Shunryu Suzuki Roshi, whom we can call Suzuki Roshi for ease of pronunciation, beautifully articulated this truth, saying, "Everything changes, everything is in motion, therefore everything is moving in the right direction." This profound statement invites us to trust the inherent wisdom of the universe, to see change not as a disruption, but as the very essence of life's unfolding. It encourages us to release our resistance to what is, to step out of the illusion of control, and to surrender to the natural current of existence. In this surrender, we find a deep sense of peace, a realization that even in the midst of transformation, there is an underlying order, a perfect flow that guides all things. Suzuki Roshi's words offer a comforting perspective, suggesting that even when circumstances feel challenging or uncertain, they are part of a larger, meaningful progression. This understanding allows us to approach life with a beginner's mind, shoshin, open to whatever new experiences and lessons each changing moment may bring. It dissolves the rigid boundaries of our expectations and preconceived notions, inviting us to witness the continuous creation and dissolution of phenomena with a sense of wonder and awe. Embracing this perspective helps to calm the mind, releasing the tension that comes from fighting against the inevitable, and fostering a deep sense of trust in the natural unfolding of our journey. As you rest deeply, allow the understanding of impermanence to wash over you like a gentle wave on a sandy shore. Feel the lightness that comes from releasing the need for things to be fixed or permanent. Your body is changing, your breath is changing, your thoughts are changing, and that is perfectly natural, perfectly beautiful. There is a quiet strength in this acceptance, a profound peace that arises when we stop fighting the current of life and instead learn to flow with it. Let this wisdom settle deep within your heart, preparing you to meet each new moment with an open and accepting spirit, ready to embrace whatever arises with grace and calm. Now, as we continue our journey inward, Gently carried by the understanding that all things are in motion, we will explore how to cultivate an unwavering sense of inner stability, even when the world around us seems turbulent. We will learn to find the quiet center within ourselves, a place of unshakable peace that remains untouched by external circumstances. Allow yourself to drift deeper into relaxation, preparing to discover the stillness within the storm, a sanctuary of calm that is always accessible, no matter what winds may blow. The stillness within the storm. Tonight, we turn our attention to the profound wisdom of cultivating inner peace amidst external turbulence, discovering that there is a quiet sanctuary within each of us that remains untouched by the storms of life. Just as the deepest part of the ocean remains calm even during the most violent tempests on the surface, so too can our inner being find a place of unshakable serenity, regardless of the chaos that may rage around us. This practice is not about avoiding difficulty, but rather about developing the capacity to meet it with a steady heart and a clear mind, fostering a deep sense of equanimity. It is about recognizing that while external conditions may shift and swirl, our fundamental nature, our Buddha mind, can remain a steadfast anchor, a source of unwavering peace. In a small fishing village constantly buffeted by the unpredictable moods of the sea, lived a seasoned fisherman named Hiroshi. His life was inextricably linked to the ocean's power, and he had witnessed many a fierce storm. One particularly violent night, as torrential rain lashed against his small hut and the wind howled like a hungry beast, Hiroshi found himself not in a panic, but in a state of quiet composure. He sat by his window, watching the waves crash against the shore, feeling the tremor of the earth beneath him. While others in the village succumbed to fear, Hiroshi drew upon years of experience on the open water, where he had learned a profound lesson about finding calm in the heart of chaos. Out at sea, Hiroshi had learned that during a furious storm, the most dangerous thing to do was to fight against the overwhelming force of the waves. Instead, he had been taught by his elders to focus on the stability of his small boat, to trust its construction, and to skillfully navigate by allowing it to ride the waves rather than resist them. He would anchor himself to the present moment, feeling the sway of the deck beneath his feet, listening to the creak of the mast, and keeping a steady hand on the rudder. His attention was not on the raging tempest outside, but on the steadfastness of his vessel, his connection to it, and his own breath, which he used as a constant anchor, a practice of conscious breathing. As the storm raged around his hut, Hiroshi applied this same wisdom to his inner world. Instead of allowing his mind to be tossed about by fearful thoughts and anxieties, he focused on his own inner anchor, his breath, his body's connection to the solid ground, and the quiet resolve within his heart. He observed the fear arising, acknowledged its presence without judgment, and then gently returned his attention to the steady rhythm of his breathing, practicing equanimous observation. He understood that these feelings, like the storm outside, were powerful but ultimately impermanent, passing phenomena that could not shake his core if he chose not to cling to them. This was a profound act of letting go, a release of the need to control the uncontrollable. This wisdom of finding stillness within the storm translates directly to our inner landscape. Life inevitably brings challenges, uncertainties, and moments of intense emotional upheaval. Just as Hiroshi learned to navigate the physical storms, we too can learn to navigate our internal storms by cultivating a deep sense of inner stability. This involves anchoring our awareness in the present moment, often through the breath, and observing our thoughts and feelings without getting swept away by them. It is the practice of mindfulness, sati, allowing us to create a space between ourselves and our reactions, a space where true peace can reside, even when the external world feels chaotic. Developing equanimity means cultivating a balanced mind, one that remains steady and calm in the face of both pleasant and unpleasant experiences. It is not about suppressing emotions or becoming indifferent, but rather about observing them with an open and accepting heart, understanding their transient nature. When we practice equanimous observation, we recognize that everything is in flux, anicca, and that our inner peace does not depend on external conditions. This profound realization frees us from the constant push and pull of desire and aversion, allowing us to meet life with a sense of quiet resilience and a deep trust in our own inherent capacity for calm. The great spiritual teacher Alan Watts once said, "The only way to make sense out of change is to plunge into it, move with it, and join the dance." While this might seem contradictory to finding stillness, it speaks to the very essence of true equanimity. It's not about standing rigidly against the current, but about learning to move gracefully within it, finding our balance and center amidst the flow. By fully engaging with the present moment, by accepting its ever-changing nature, we naturally discover a deeper, more profound stillness that lies beneath the surface of all movement, a quiet awareness that is always present, always available. Alan Watts's insight encourages us to embrace the dynamism of life rather than fearing or resisting it. When we dive into the dance of change with an attitude of acceptance and an open heart, we stop expending energy fighting against what is. Instead, we learn to flow with the natural flow of existence, much like Hiroshi learned to navigate his boat with the waves. This active engagement, paradoxically, leads to a deeper sense of inner calm and stability. It is in the conscious act of moving with life rather than against it that we discover our inherent ability to remain centered, grounded, and at peace, regardless of the external circumstances. This is the essence of inner freedom. As you continue to drift deeper into relaxation, allow yourself to feel this quiet strength within you. Imagine yourself as the deep ocean, vast and calm, even as waves may ripple on the surface. No storm, no external event can truly disturb the profound stillness at your core. This is your inherent wisdom, your Buddha mind, always present, always accessible. Rest in this knowing, in this deep sense of security and peace, understanding that you carry within you an unshakable sanctuary, a refuge from all the world's clamor, a place of true contentment. Now, with this newfound understanding of inner stillness, we will gently turn our attention to another aspect of human experience that often creates turbulence in our lives: the incessant pull of desire. As you continue to breathe deeply and rest profoundly, prepare to explore the nature of our attachments and how releasing their grip can lead to an even greater sense of liberation and peace. We are ready to move towards releasing the grip of craving and finding true freedom. Releasing the grip of craving. Tonight, we gently explore the subtle yet powerful force of craving, a fundamental aspect of the human experience that often lies at the root of our dissatisfaction and unease. This deep-seated thirst, known as Trishna in Buddhist teachings, manifests as a persistent longing for things to be different than they are, a yearning for more, or a resistance to what is present. It can be a desire for pleasure, for possessions, for recognition, or even for an end to discomfort. When we are caught in the grip of craving, our minds are restless, constantly seeking external fulfillment, which inevitably leads to suffering, because everything is impermanent. Understanding the nature of this attachment is the first step toward finding true inner freedom and a lasting sense of contentment, allowing us to cultivate detachment. In a bustling ancient city lived a shrewd merchant named Akemi, whose life was a relentless pursuit of wealth and status. She possessed a keen business sense, and her warehouses were overflowing with exotic silks, rare spices, and precious jewels. Akemi believed that each new acquisition, each increase in her fortune, would finally bring her lasting happiness and peace. Yet, with every successful transaction, a new desire would emerge, a fresh target for her relentless ambition. The joy of acquisition was fleeting, quickly replaced by a subtle dissatisfaction, a quiet whisper in her mind that told her it wasn't quite enough, that there was always something more to be gained, a subtle form of Trishna. Akemi spent her days meticulously managing her accounts, negotiating deals, and planning her next venture. Her nights were often restless, her mind replaying transactions, strategizing, and anticipating future gains. Despite her vast wealth, she felt a constant undercurrent of anxiety, a fear of loss, and a nagging sense that something essential was still missing. She observed other merchants who seemed content with far less, and their quiet smiles often puzzled her. She couldn't understand how they could find peace without the endless accumulation that drove her own life, without the constant striving for more, which felt like an inescapable burden. One day, an old, wise monk visited the city, known for his serene presence and profound teachings. Akemi, intrigued by his calm demeanor, sought him out. She confessed her endless pursuit and her persistent feeling of emptiness despite her material success. The monk listened patiently, then gently explained that true contentment does not come from accumulating more, but from desiring less. He spoke of craving as a fire that, when fed, only grows hotter, never truly satisfied, always demanding more fuel. He shared that the path to peace lay in understanding this fire and gradually learning to let it go. The monk explained that Trishna, or craving, is a fundamental cause of suffering, as taught in the Noble Truths. It is the insatiable thirst for experience, for existence, for non-existence, for anything that is not present. This constant wanting keeps us bound to a cycle of dissatisfaction, as everything we desire is subject to impermanence and will eventually change or disappear. By observing our cravings without judgment and understanding their transient nature, we begin to loosen their grip. This practice of conscious observation, a form of sati or mindfulness, allows us to create a space between the desire and our reaction, leading to a profound sense of detachment. Releasing the grip of craving does not mean abandoning all desires or becoming indifferent to life. Instead, it means cultivating a wisdom, prajna, that recognizes the difference between a healthy aspiration and a compulsive attachment. It is about understanding that true happiness arises from within, from a state of sufficiency and inner peace, rather than from external conditions or possessions. When we are free from the relentless pull of Trishna, we experience a profound sense of inner freedom, a lightness of being that allows us to engage with life more fully, appreciating what we have without the burden of always wanting more. The Buddha taught, the root of suffering is attachment. This powerful statement succinctly captures the essence of our discussion on craving. Attachment, in this context, refers to our clinging to desires, to outcomes, to possessions, and even to our own sense of self. When we are attached, we become vulnerable to the inevitable changes and losses that are inherent in life. By understanding and gradually releasing these attachments, we begin to dismantle the very foundations of suffering, opening ourselves to a path of profound peace and liberation. It is a journey of letting go, not of love or joy, but of the insistent demand that things conform to our preferences. Buddha's teaching is an invitation to observe where we hold on tightly, where we resist the natural flow of existence. It encourages us to explore the subtle ways in which Trishna manifests in our daily lives, from a longing for a different situation to a subtle dissatisfaction with the present moment. Through this gentle yet honest self-inquiry, we cultivate observing awareness, allowing us to see the patterns of our mind without judgment. This process is not about self-condemnation, but about understanding, about gaining the self-knowledge necessary to loosen the bonds of craving and step into a more spacious, peaceful way of being, a path toward true nirvana. As you continue to rest deeply, allow the understanding of craving to gently settle within you. Notice any subtle desires that may arise and simply observe them without judgment or engagement. Feel the potential for lightness, for spaciousness that comes with the gradual release of these attachments. There is nothing you need to do, no effort required, merely a gentle observation, a quiet letting go. Allow yourself to experience the profound peace that emerges when the grip of wanting begins to soften, when you find yourself content in the simple sufficiency of this very moment, preparing for deeper rest. Now, with the understanding that true peace arises from releasing the grip of craving, we will gently shift our attention to another powerful practice that can profoundly transform our perception of the world and our place within it. We will explore how approaching each moment with an open, fresh, and unbiased perspective can unlock new possibilities and deepen our connection to life. Allow your breath to continue guiding you as we prepare to discover the wisdom of beginner's mind, a path to seeing everything anew. The wisdom of beginner's mind. Tonight we invite you to explore the profound wisdom of beginner's mind, known in Zen as Shoshin, a state of openness, eagerness, and lack of preconceptions when studying a subject, even when studying at an advanced level. It is about approaching every moment, every experience, and every interaction with the fresh eyes of a novice, free from the weight of past knowledge, expectations, or judgments. Imagine seeing the world for the very first time with a sense of wonder and curiosity, unburdened by what you think you already know. This practice allows us to break free from rigid patterns of thought and perception, opening us to new insights, deeper understanding, and a more vibrant engagement with life, fostering a profound sense of inner freedom and full presence. In a serene mountain monastery, there lived a renowned calligrapher, Master Jin, whose brushstrokes were said to capture the very essence of the universe. Students traveled from far and wide to learn from him, eager to master his elegant forms. One day, a particularly arrogant student, convinced of his own skill, presented Master Jin with a perfectly symmetrical circle he had painstakingly practiced for weeks. The student expected praise, but Master Jin simply smiled gently and asked, "That is a beautiful circle. Now, can you teach me how to draw a simple circle?" The student was perplexed, for he believed the master already knew everything. Master Jin then took the brush and, with a relaxed hand, drew a circle that was imperfect, yet alive with energy and spontaneity. He explained that the student's circle, while technically perfect, lacked the spirit of true creation because it was bound by the intention of perfection and the weight of expectation. He then clarified that when he asked the student to teach him, he was inviting the student to approach the task not from a place of knowing, but from a place of pure, unburdened observation, as if it were the very first time. He sought to see the circle through the student's fresh eyes, to experience the act of creation without the filter of his own extensive experience, embodying Shoshin. The student, initially confused, began to understand. Master Jin was not asking for instruction in technique, but for a fresh perspective, an unburdened way of seeing. He realized that his own pursuit of perfection had created a barrier, preventing him from truly experiencing the joy and spontaneity of the creative process. He had approached the task with a mind full of what he thought a circle should be, rather than simply allowing the circle to emerge. This insight was a profound turning point for the student, awakening him to the limitations of his own preconceived notions and the vast potential that lay in a mind free from the grip of expectation. The practice of Shoshin, or beginner's mind, is about letting go of our fixed ideas and assumptions, even about ourselves and our capabilities. It encourages us to cultivate a sense of open-mindedness and curiosity, approaching each moment as if it were entirely new, without the filter of past experiences or learned knowledge. This doesn't mean forgetting what we know, but rather holding our knowledge lightly, preventing it from becoming a rigid framework that limits our perception. When we embrace beginner's mind, we create space for new insights, for fresh perspectives, and for a deeper, more authentic engagement with whatever is unfolding. This approach is incredibly liberating, as it frees us from the burden of always needing to be right, or always needing to know. It encourages us to ask questions, to explore, and to be receptive to unexpected discoveries. In a state of Shoshin, we are less likely to fall into the traps of judgment, criticism, or rigid thinking. Instead, we become more adaptable, more resilient, and more open to the natural flow of life. It is a powerful practice for cultivating wisdom, prajna, allowing us to see beyond surface appearances and connect with the deeper truths that lie beneath, fostering a profound sense of self-knowledge. The Zen master Shunryu Suzuki Roshi, whom we can call Suzuki Roshi, famously said, "In the beginner's mind there are many possibilities, but in the expert's mind there are few." This profound statement highlights the expansive potential that lies in approaching life with an open and unburdened heart. When we believe we already know something, our minds tend to close, limiting our capacity for new learning and fresh insights. Conversely, when we cultivate Shoshin, we remain receptive, curious, and infinitely capable of discovering new dimensions in even the most familiar experiences. It is a continuous invitation to wonder, to explore, and to embrace the vastness of the unknown with a spirit of adventure. Suzuki Roshi's words are a powerful reminder that true mastery is not about accumulating a vast amount of knowledge, but about maintaining a continuous sense of wonder and inquiry. It is about understanding that wisdom is not a destination, but an ongoing journey of discovery. When we embody beginner's mind, we are constantly learning, constantly evolving, and constantly expanding our capacity for understanding. This practice is a cornerstone of Zen, encouraging us to shed the layers of preconceived notions and return to our original nature, our Buddha mind, which is inherently open, clear, and full of infinite possibilities, fostering a deep sense of inner freedom. As you continue to rest deeply, allow your mind to gently release any fixed ideas or expectations. Imagine your mind as a clear, empty bowl, ready to receive whatever the present moment offers, without prejudice or preconception. Feel the lightness that comes from letting go of the need to know, the need to categorize, or the need to judge. Simply be present, open and receptive, allowing the world to reveal itself to you in its fresh, unadulterated form. This is the beauty of Shoshin, a path to profound peace and a deeper connection to the vibrant tapestry of life, preparing you for deep, restorative sleep. Now, with the wisdom of beginner's mind gently settling within your heart, we will turn our attention to another essential practice on our path to inner peace, the cultivation of boundless kindness. As you continue to breathe deeply and rest profoundly, prepare to open your heart to a boundless sense of warmth and understanding, not just for others, but for yourself. We are ready to move towards cultivating the garden of compassion and embracing the profound power of metta. Cultivating the garden of compassion. Tonight, we open our hearts to the profound and transformative power of compassion, a boundless kindness that extends not only to others, but, crucially, to ourselves. In the Buddhist tradition, this encompasses metta, or loving kindness, and karuna, or compassionate action. It is an active wish for the well-being and freedom from suffering for all beings, a deep recognition of our shared humanity and interconnectedness. Often, we are quick to offer kindness to friends or strangers, yet struggle to extend the same gentle understanding to our own perceived flaws or difficulties. Cultivating this inner wellspring of kindness is a foundational practice for true inner peace, allowing us to soften our hearts and embrace ourselves with the same warmth we offer to others, fostering a deep sense of self-compassion. In a quiet, verdant valley, known for its healing herbs and clear springs, lived a young healer named Sora. From a tender age, Sora possessed a natural inclination to soothe the ailments of others. Villagers would come to her with their aches and anxieties, and she would listen with a gentle heart, preparing remedies and offering comforting words. Yet, despite her outward compassion, Sora often struggled with her own inner turmoil. She carried a quiet burden of self-criticism, frequently doubting her abilities and dwelling on her perceived shortcomings, which sometimes manifested as a subtle sense of suffering, a quiet unease in her own being. One particularly demanding season, a mysterious illness spread through the valley, and Sora worked tirelessly, day and night, to help her community. Exhaustion began to take its toll, and her self-doubt intensified. She felt overwhelmed, fearing she wasn't doing enough, that she wasn't good enough. One evening, an elder, noticing Sora's weary eyes and slumped shoulders, approached her. The elder, a woman of deep wisdom, gently said, "Sora, your wellspring of compassion for others is vast, but if you do not replenish it from within, it will eventually run dry. You must offer yourself the same kindness you so freely give to others." The elder then guided Sora in a simple meditation. She asked Sora to imagine all the kindness, all the understanding, all the forgiveness she had ever offered to another person. Then she asked Sora to gently turn that boundless metta inward, to direct it towards her own tired heart, her own doubting mind. Sora initially found this difficult, her internal critic rising to the surface. But with persistence and the elder's gentle encouragement, she began to soften, allowing a warm, soothing current of self-compassion to flow through her. She acknowledged her efforts, her good intentions, and her inherent worth, releasing the grip of self-judgment. This practice of turning metta, or loving kindness, inward is a crucial step in cultivating true compassion. Often, we are taught to be kind to others, but we forget that we too are part of all beings deserving of kindness. When we are harsh with ourselves, critical of our mistakes, or dismissive of our own needs, we create internal discord, a subtle form of suffering. By extending self-compassion, we acknowledge our imperfections with tenderness, recognizing that to be human is to be fallible. This gentle acceptance allows us to heal internal wounds, to build resilience, and to create a stable foundation from which genuine karuna or compassionate action can flow outward to the world. Cultivating the garden of compassion means nurturing both the seeds of metta for ourselves and for others. It begins with the simple wish: may I be happy. May I be free from suffering. May I be at peace. Once this internal wellspring is strong, it naturally expands to those we love, to neutral persons, and eventually to all beings, even those with whom we struggle. This practice dissolves the boundaries of separation, fostering a deep sense of interconnectedness and a profound understanding that our well-being is intricately linked to the well-being of all. It is a path to inner peace, transforming our relationship with ourselves and the entire world. Thich Nhat Hanh, or Thich Nhat Hanh, beautifully articulated the essence of this practice, stating, "When you are a bodhisattva, you are not just a bodhisattva for yourself, you are a bodhisattva for everyone." This profound teaching reminds us that true compassion is an interconnected force. A bodhisattva, in Buddhist tradition, is an awakened being who postpones their own nirvana to help all sentient beings achieve liberation. Thich Nhat Hanh's words emphasize that when we cultivate kindness and understanding within ourselves, we are not only benefiting our own well-being, but also contributing to the collective healing and awakening of the Sangha, the community, and indeed, all of existence. Thich Nhat Hanh's wisdom underscores the ripple effect of self-compassion. By nurturing our own inner peace and freedom from suffering, we become a more stable and loving presence in the world. This, in turn, allows us to offer more genuine and effective karuna to others without depletion or resentment. It is a reminder that self-care is not selfish, but a necessary foundation for truly serving others. When we are gentle with ourselves, we create a spaciousness within our hearts that can hold the pain and joy of the world with greater equanimity, fostering a boundless capacity for love and understanding, a path to true inner freedom. As you continue to rest deeply, allow a gentle warmth to spread through your chest, radiating outward from your heart. Feel this warmth as boundless kindness, first for yourself, then for all beings. There is nothing you need to do, no effort required, merely a gentle opening, a soft acceptance of this loving energy. Let any self-criticism or judgment simply dissolve, replaced by a profound sense of peace and worthiness. You are deserving of this kindness, just as all beings are. Rest in this feeling of interconnected compassion, preparing for even deeper relaxation. Now, with our hearts softened by the warmth of compassion, we will gently turn our attention to another profound liberation, the art of releasing our grip on what we try to hold on to. As you continue to breathe deeply and rest profoundly, prepare to explore the freedom that comes from understanding that true security lies not in possession, but in the spaciousness of non-attachment. We are ready to move towards finding freedom in letting go and embracing the profound wisdom of detachment. Finding freedom in letting go. Tonight, we delve into the profound and liberating practice of letting go, understanding that true freedom often emerges not from acquiring more, but from releasing our grip on what we cling to. This concept, often misunderstood as indifference or apathy, is in fact a powerful form of detachment, a conscious choice to release our attachment to outcomes, possessions, relationships, and even our own fixed ideas about ourselves. Our minds often create suffering or dukkha by desperately trying to hold on to pleasant experiences or resist unpleasant ones, believing that our happiness depends on these external conditions. By embracing the wisdom of non-attachment, we discover an inner freedom that is unshakable, a deep sense of peace that resides within us, independent of the ever-changing world. In a remote, mist-shrouded mountain range lived an old hermit named Kai, known for his serene presence and his simple way of life. For many years, Kai had accumulated a few cherished possessions: a beautifully carved wooden staff, a collection of ancient scrolls, and a small, intricately woven blanket that had belonged to his ancestors. He cared for these items meticulously, finding comfort in their presence, believing they enriched his solitary existence. Yet, a subtle anxiety always accompanied them, a quiet fear of loss, of damage, or of having to leave them behind should he need to move, a subtle form of craving, or trishna. One harsh winter, a series of landslides rendered Kai's path to the nearest village impassable, cutting off his usual supply route. With dwindling provisions, Kai knew he had to seek a new dwelling, further down the mountain, where the trails were safer. As he prepared to leave, he looked at his cherished possessions. He realized that carrying them all would make his arduous journey even more difficult, slowing his progress and draining his precious energy. He faced a difficult choice: cling to his comforts or prioritize his survival and freedom of movement. He felt the pang of attachment, the subtle resistance to letting go of what he held dear. With a deep breath, Kai made a profound decision. He carefully placed his ancient scrolls into a waterproof pouch, knowing their wisdom was truly within him, not just on the paper. He leaned his wooden staff against a sturdy tree, a silent offering back to the forest that had provided it. And his cherished blanket he folded and left on his meditation cushion, a warm memory rather than a heavy burden. With only the barest essentials, Kai began his descent. With each step, he felt a remarkable lightness, not just in his physical body, but in his spirit. The fear of loss vanished, replaced by a profound sense of inner freedom, a quiet joy in his unburdened journey. This experience taught Kai that true security and richness lay not in the things he possessed, but in his ability to adapt, to trust in the moment, and to release the need for external comforts. He realized that his attachment to his possessions had created a subtle form of suffering, a mental weight that was heavier than the physical objects themselves. By consciously letting go, he found a deeper sense of peace and a profound understanding of non-attachment. He learned that true wealth is not what we accumulate, but what we are able to release, allowing us to move through life with greater ease and flexibility. The practice of detachment, or letting go, is a cornerstone of Buddhist philosophy. It is not about becoming cold or uncaring, but about understanding that clinging to anything, whether it be a person, an idea, a possession, or an outcome, inevitably leads to dukkha or suffering, because everything is subject to impermanence. By cultivating non-attachment, we learn to appreciate things fully while they are present, without the desperate need for them to remain forever. This allows us to engage with life more openly, to experience joy and sorrow with greater equanimity, and to find a stable sense of peace that doesn't depend on external conditions. Letting go also applies to our internal landscape, our thoughts, emotions, and self-identities. We often cling to certain narratives about ourselves, to past hurts, or to future expectations, creating mental prisons. By practicing observing awareness, we learn to witness these internal phenomena without grasping onto them, allowing them to arise and pass like clouds in the sky. This creates a spaciousness within our minds, a sense of inner freedom that allows us to respond to life with greater clarity and wisdom, rather than reacting from old patterns of craving or aversion. It is a pathway to self-knowledge and self-compassion, freeing us from the burden of our own mental constructions. Pema Chodron, whom we can call Pema Chodron for ease of pronunciation, teaches, the root of suffering is that we are never satisfied. We're always seeking something else. This powerful insight speaks directly to the nature of our attachments and the profound liberation that comes from letting go. Her words remind us that the constant pursuit of external fulfillment driven by Trishna is a never-ending cycle that keeps us from recognizing the inherent completeness and sufficiency of the present moment. By understanding this, we are invited to shift our focus from seeking to simply being, finding contentment in what already is, rather than perpetually striving for what is not. Pema Chodron's teaching encourages us to examine where we feel a sense of lack or dissatisfaction, and to gently inquire into the underlying attachments that fuel these feelings. It is a call to cultivate gratitude for the simple gifts of existence, and to recognize that true happiness is not an acquisition, but a state of being, a profound sense of contentment that arises when we release the need for things to be other than they are. This practice of non-attachment is a pathway to deep inner peace, allowing us to live with greater ease, flexibility, and a profound appreciation for the natural flow of life, trusting in its unfolding. As you continue to rest deeply, allow your body and mind to gently release any tension, any subtle clinging. Imagine yourself unburdening your heart, letting go of worries, expectations, or anything that feels heavy. Feel the lightness that comes with this release, the spaciousness that opens within you. There is nothing you need to hold on to, nothing you need to grasp. Simply rest in this profound sense of freedom, knowing that you are safe, secure, and complete in this very moment, preparing for deep, restorative sleep. Now, with the liberating wisdom of letting go gently settling within your heart, we will turn our attention to another foundational practice for inner peace, the cultivation of contentment in the simple things. As you continue to breathe deeply and rest profoundly, prepare to discover the richness that lies in recognizing the abundance of what already is, rather than perpetually seeking more. We are ready to move towards the path of simple sufficiency and embracing the profound joy of contentment. The path of simple sufficiency. Tonight, we gently explore the path of simple sufficiency, a profound teaching that invites us to discover deep contentment and inner peace in what already exists, rather than constantly striving for more. In a world that often encourages endless acquisition and external validation, this practice calls us back to the inherent richness of the present moment, to recognize the abundance that surrounds us and resides within us. It is about shifting our perspective from a mind of lack to a mind of plenty, fostering a deep sense of gratitude for the simple gifts of life. When we embrace sufficiency, we release the grip of craving, trishna, and the accompanying suffering, finding genuine joy in the ordinary, the quiet, and the truly essential, leading to a profound sense of inner freedom. In a small remote village nestled by a clear mountain stream lived an elderly woman named Hannah, revered by all for her radiant smile and unwavering serenity. Hannah possessed very little in terms of material wealth. Her home was modest, her clothes simple, and her daily meals consisted of whatever the land and stream provided. Yet, her eyes sparkled with a quiet joy, and her presence radiated a profound sense of contentment that touched everyone she met. She seemed to carry a secret, a deep wellspring of happiness that was not dependent on external circumstances, a wisdom that many in the bustling city yearned to discover. Hannah spent her days tending to a small garden, gathering wild herbs and weaving intricate baskets from river reeds. Each morning, she would sit on her porch, savoring a simple bowl of rice, feeling the warmth of the rising sun on her face, and listening to the gentle murmur of the stream. She noticed the intricate patterns on a fallen leaf, the vibrant colors of a wildflower, the subtle changes in the sky. For Hannah, these were not mundane occurrences, but profound blessings. Each moment a gift to be cherished with full presence. She found immense joy in the simplicity of her existence, a deep, abiding peace that emanated from within. One day, a wealthy merchant from the city, burdened by his many possessions and endless anxieties, visited Hannah's village seeking respite. Intrigued by Hannah's peaceful demeanor, he asked her, "Hannah, you have so little, yet you seem to possess more joy than anyone I know. What is your secret?" Hannah smiled gently and replied, "My dear friend, my secret is not in having much, but in needing little. I have discovered that true wealth lies in recognizing the abundance of what is already here, in the simple sufficiency of each breath, each sunrise, each drop of water. This is where contentment truly resides." Hannah further explained that the constant pursuit of more, the endless cycle of craving, only leads to a restless mind and a heart filled with dissatisfaction. She spoke of how her simple bowl of rice tasted richer because she savored each grain, how the warmth of the sun felt more profound because she allowed herself to be fully present for it. Her practice was one of gratitude, a conscious choice to appreciate the fundamental gifts of life rather than focusing on what was lacking. She found her inner peace not in accumulating, but in embracing the inherent sufficiency of her own existence, a profound lesson in detachment. The path of simple sufficiency is a powerful antidote to the relentless pressures of modern life. It invites us to pause and reflect on what truly brings us happiness and well-being, often revealing that our deepest joys are found not in material possessions or external achievements, but in the quality of our presence, our relationships, and our connection to the simple wonders of the world. By consciously cultivating a mindset of gratitude and contentment, we begin to dismantle the mental patterns of Trishna, releasing the grip of wanting and discovering a profound sense of peace that is always available, always present within us. Jack Cornfield, whom we can call Jack Cornfielder for ease of pronunciation, teaches, "The greatest gift you can give yourself is to be present." This wisdom speaks directly to the heart of simple sufficiency. When we are fully present, we are able to truly experience and appreciate the richness of what is, without the distraction of past regrets or future anxieties. This full presence, or sati, allows us to find contentment in the ordinary, transforming mundane moments into sacred experiences. It is in this deep engagement with the now that we discover the inherent sufficiency of life itself, realizing that we already possess everything essential for happiness. Jack Cornfielder's words remind us that the present moment, in its unadulterated form, is a complete and perfect gift. It is here that we can access our inner peace, our Buddha mind, and our original nature. By consciously choosing to be present, we break free from the cycle of craving and dissatisfaction, finding a profound sense of liberation. This practice is not about renouncing the world, but about engaging with it more authentically, with a heart full of gratitude and a mind steeped in contentment. It is a path to a deeper, more meaningful existence, where the simple act of breathing becomes a source of profound joy and sufficiency. As you continue to rest deeply, allow the feeling of simple sufficiency to wash over you. Feel the contentment that arises from releasing the need for more, from recognizing the abundance of this very moment. There is nothing missing, nothing lacking. You are complete, whole, and perfectly at peace, just as you are. Rest in this profound sense of enoughness, allowing it to soothe your mind and heart, preparing you for deep restorative sleep. This is your inherent wisdom, your path to lasting peace, a quiet knowing that all is well and all is present. Now, with the deep contentment of simple sufficiency gently settling within your heart, we will return our attention to our most fundamental anchor, our constant guide to the present moment. As you continue to breathe deeply and rest profoundly, prepare to deepen your connection to the quiet rhythm that has been with you all along, always available, always calming. We are ready to move towards observing the breath, calming the waves, and finding profound stillness in its gentle flow. Observing the breath, calming the waves. Tonight, we return to the gentle, unwavering anchor of our breath, deepening our practice of conscious breathing to further calm the mind and soothe the heart. Just as a restless sea can be brought to a serene stillness by a gentle, persistent breeze, so too can our inner turmoil be quieted by the mindful observation of our breath. This practice of anapanasati is not merely a technique, it is a profound pathway to full presence, a direct connection to the living moment that is always available, always supportive. There is nothing you need to achieve, nothing you need to force, only a gentle invitation to rest your awareness on the natural, effortless flow of your inhalation and exhalation, cultivating a deep sense of inner peace. In a bustling city known for its intricate artistry, lived a young artisan named May, whose hands could craft delicate porcelain with astonishing precision. However, May's mind was often as intricate and busy as her designs, filled with a constant stream of thoughts, worries about her craft, and the demands of her patrons. When she sat down to paint the fine details on a fragile vase, her hands would sometimes tremble, her concentration wavering, reflecting the inner turbulence of her mind. She yearned for the steady hand and calm focus that characterized the master artisans she admired, often finding herself frustrated by her own inner restlessness. One day, while struggling with a particularly delicate brushstroke, May observed an old master potter working nearby. The master moved with an effortless grace, his breath slow and even, his gaze steady. Intrigued, May watched him closely. She noticed that before each precise movement, the master would take a subtle, deep breath, and as he exhaled, his hand would move with an unwavering steadiness, as if guided by an invisible force. It was a moment of profound realization for May. The master was not just crafting pottery, he was crafting stillness within himself, using his breath as a bridge between his inner calm and his outer action. Inspired, May began to experiment. Before each delicate stroke of her brush, she would consciously take a deep, slow breath, allowing her attention to settle on the sensation of the air entering and leaving her body. She noticed that as she exhaled, a subtle wave of calm would spread through her, steadying her hands and clearing her mind. The incessant chatter of her thoughts began to recede, replaced by a focused awareness on the present moment, on the feel of the brush, the texture of the porcelain, and the subtle movement of her breath. This simple practice transformed her work, imbuing it with a new level of precision and serenity. This experience taught May the profound power of anapanasati, or conscious breathing, as a tool for concentration and focus. Her breath became her anchor, a reliable point of return whenever her mind started to wander or her hands began to tremble. She learned that by observing her breath, she wasn't just calming her physical body, she was also calming the turbulent waves of her mind, bringing her entire being into a state of harmonious balance. This practice allowed her to access a deeper wellspring of creativity and skill, flowing effortlessly from a place of inner stillness, a profound sense of self-knowledge. The regular practice of anapanasati strengthens our capacity for sati, or mindfulness, allowing us to remain present and aware even in demanding situations. Each breath becomes a mini meditation, a brief but powerful opportunity to return to our center, to release the grip of distractions, and to re-establish a sense of calm. This consistent return to the breath trains our minds in concentration, samadhi, making us more resilient to external pressures and more capable of maintaining a steady, focused awareness throughout our day. It is a fundamental practice for cultivating inner peace and a clear, unburdened mind. The great Zen master Dogen Zenji, whom we can call Dogen Zenji for ease of pronunciation, emphasized the profound simplicity and completeness of this practice, stating, "Just sit and be aware of your breathing. This is shikantaza." Shikantaza, or just sitting, is a core practice in Zen Buddhism, where the practitioner simply sits upright and practices mindful awareness of the present moment, without focusing on any particular object or goal, often returning to the breath as a primary anchor. Dogen Zenji's words encourage us to trust in the inherent wisdom of this simple practice, recognizing that in the act of merely sitting and breathing, we are already accessing the deepest truths of existence. Dogen Zenji's teaching invites us to let go of any striving or expectation, to simply allow ourselves to be fully present with our breath, without judgment or commentary. It is an invitation to experience our original nature, our Buddha mind, which is inherently clear, calm, and complete. When we just sit, just breathe, we cultivate a deep sense of equanimity, observing our internal and external experiences with an open and accepting heart. This profound simplicity is incredibly powerful, allowing us to dissolve the barriers of thought and truly rest in the spaciousness of the present moment, fostering a deep sense of inner freedom. As you continue to rest deeply, allow your breath to be your guide, a gentle current carrying you deeper into relaxation. Feel the quiet rise and fall, the subtle sensations, the unwavering presence of each inhalation and exhalation. Let any remaining thoughts or worries simply float away, like leaves on a stream, as you settle into a profound state of calm. You are completely held, completely supported, completely at peace in this moment, allowing your mind to rest, your body to soften, and your spirit to find deep, restorative rest. Now, with your mind calmed and your heart soothed by the gentle rhythm of your breath, we will turn our attention to another profound concept that offers immense liberation: the understanding of emptiness. As you continue to breathe deeply and rest profoundly, prepare to explore how seeing beyond the surface of things can unlock a deeper, more interconnected understanding of reality, leading to profound peace. We are ready to move towards the empty bowl of understanding and embracing the wisdom of sunyata. The empty bowl of understanding. Tonight, we embark upon a subtle yet profound exploration of emptiness, a central concept in Buddhist philosophy known as sunyata. This is not an idea of nothingness or a void, but rather a radical understanding that all phenomena, including ourselves, lack inherent, independent existence. Everything arises in dependence upon other things, constantly changing and interconnected, embodying anicca, impermanence. To grasp sunyata is to realize that forms are empty of a fixed, separate self, and emptiness itself is full of form, constantly manifesting. This realization frees us from the rigid categories and attachments that often lead to suffering, opening us to a boundless sense of inner freedom, a deep understanding of our original nature, and a profound sense of peace that arises from non-attachment. In a quiet, secluded mountain hermitage lived a revered scholar and ceramist, Master Kenji, whose days were dedicated to both profound meditation and the creation of exquisite ceramic bowls. He spent countless hours at his potter's wheel, shaping clay with skilled hands, then firing and glazing each piece with meticulous care. To the casual observer, his bowls were simply beautiful objects, functional and aesthetically pleasing. But for Master Kenji, each bowl was a living teaching, a tangible representation of the subtle truths he explored in his meditative practice, a canvas for his deep self-knowledge. One crisp autumn morning, a bright young student approached Master Kenji, eager to understand the deepest teachings of Zen. The student had studied many texts and debated complex philosophies, yet still felt a sense of unease, a lingering question about the true nature of reality. He pointed to a perfectly formed ceramic bowl on Master Kenji's table and asked, "Master, what is the essence of this bowl? What truly makes it what it is?" The student expected a complex philosophical answer, perhaps a discourse on form or function, or even a poetic metaphor for existence. Master Kenji picked up the bowl, turning it gently in his hands. He tapped its rim lightly, producing a clear, resonant tone. "The essence of this bowl," he began, "is its emptiness." The student was perplexed. "But Master," he protested, "it is clearly a bowl. It has form. It has weight. It holds water. How can its essence be emptiness?" Master Kenji smiled, his eyes twinkling with ancient wisdom. "Indeed, it has form," he affirmed, "but its function, its usefulness, its very identity as a bowl, arises entirely from the space it contains, the sunyata within. Without that emptiness, it would merely be a lump of clay, incapable of holding anything." Master Kenji continued, explaining that the bowl's existence was also dependent on countless factors: the clay from the earth, the water that shaped it, the potter's hands, the kiln's fire, the glazes, and even the intention of the user. None of these elements, nor the bowl itself, possessed a separate, independent existence. Each arose in relation to the others, constantly changing, constantly interdependent. This profound understanding of emptiness, sunyata, revealed that the bowl was not a solid, unchanging entity, but a dynamic, interconnected manifestation of all things. Its form was not separate from its emptiness, nor its emptiness from its form, a continuous dance of arising and passing, embodying anicca. The teaching of sunyata, or emptiness, is one of the most liberating concepts in Buddhism. It is not nihilism, but a radical insight into the interdependent nature of all phenomena. When we understand that nothing possesses an inherent, fixed self, we begin to release our rigid attachments to ideas, beliefs, and even our own identity, realizing that these too are empty of a separate, unchanging essence. This realization frees us from the craving and suffering that arise from clinging to what is ultimately impermanent and interconnected. It allows us to view the world with a fresh perspective, a beginner's mind, seeing the profound dance of cause and effect in every moment. This understanding of emptiness, prajna, also leads to profound compassion. When we see that all beings are interconnected, arising in dependence upon one another, the suffering of one becomes the suffering of all. It breaks down the illusion of separation, fostering a deep sense of karuna and metta for every living thing. This radical interdependence means that our actions, our karma, ripple through the entire web of existence, making ethical conduct, sila, not just a moral imperative, but a natural expression of our interconnectedness. It is a path to inner peace, as the mind finds rest in the truth of non-duality. The great Indian Buddhist philosopher Nagarjuna, whom we can call Nagarjuna, taught, "Emptiness is the emptiness of emptiness." This paradoxical statement beautifully captures the profound depth of sunyata. It means that even the concept of emptiness itself is empty of inherent existence. There is no ultimate emptiness that stands apart from phenomena. Rather, emptiness is the very nature of phenomena. This insight prevents us from reifying emptiness into another concept to grasp, guiding us towards a direct, experiential understanding of interdependence and the fluid, dynamic nature of reality. It is a profound invitation to release all conceptual clinging, even to the idea of a fixed truth. Nagarjuna's words serve as a powerful reminder that true wisdom lies beyond intellectual understanding, residing in a direct felt experience of reality. When we truly grasp the emptiness of all things, we are freed from the mental constructs that create dukkha, or suffering. We realize that our struggles often stem from clinging to illusions of permanence and separation. This profound insight opens the door to nirvana, a state of liberation from suffering, not by escaping the world, but by seeing its true nature. It is a journey of self-knowledge, allowing us to rest in the boundless, interconnected spaciousness of our original nature, our Buddha mind. As you continue to rest deeply, allow the concept of emptiness to gently expand your awareness. Feel the spaciousness, the interconnectedness of all things, including yourself. There is no solid, separate self to protect or defend. You are part of the vast, dynamic dance of existence. Rest in this profound understanding, allowing it to dissolve any remaining tension or resistance, bringing a deep sense of inner freedom and peace. You are perfectly held within this boundless, ever-changing reality, preparing for deep, restorative sleep. Now, with this expanded understanding of emptiness and interdependence, we will turn our attention to the practical steps that guide us towards a life of greater harmony, wisdom, and liberation. As you continue to breathe deeply and rest profoundly, prepare to explore the ancient and timeless path that offers a clear framework for navigating the complexities of existence. We are ready to move towards walking the Noble Eightfold Path and embracing the profound wisdom of the Dharma. Walking the Noble Eightfold Path. Tonight, we turn our attention to the practical and transformative framework of the Noble Eightfold Path, a central teaching of the Buddha that offers a clear and systematic guide for living a life free from suffering and rich with inner peace. This path is not a set of rigid rules, but rather a holistic approach to cultivating wisdom, ethical conduct, and mental discipline, leading to spiritual awakening. It provides a comprehensive roadmap for transforming our minds and hearts, moving us away from the causes of dissatisfaction and towards a profound state of liberation, or nirvana. Each of its 8 interconnected aspects supports and reinforces the others, forming a complete and balanced practice that guides us toward a life of meaning and purpose, embodying the Dharma. In a flourishing ancient kingdom where diverse people lived side by side, a visionary leader sought to build a grand new temple, a place of peace and learning for all. The task was immense, requiring the coordinated efforts of countless individuals with varied skills. There were architects to design, masons to cut stone, carpenters to shape wood, artists to adorn, and laborers to carry materials. Each person, though performing a different role, worked with a shared vision and a common purpose, contributing their unique talents to the collective endeavor. The harmony of their efforts was remarkable, a testament to their shared commitment to the vision, a tangible manifestation of the principles of Sangha, community. The leader, wise beyond his years, understood that merely having a grand vision was not enough. He knew that the success of the temple depended on each individual's commitment to excellence, integrity, and cooperation. He encouraged the architects to design with right understanding, ensuring the structure was sound and beautiful. He guided the masons to work with right intention, focusing on quality and durability. He asked the carpenters to communicate with right speech, fostering clarity and respect. The laborers were encouraged to engage in right action, performing their duties with care and diligence, understanding the impact of their karma. Each step was a mindful contribution to the greater whole, embodying the path. As the temple slowly took shape, a profound sense of community, of Sangha, flourished among the workers. They learned to support one another, to resolve conflicts with patience, and to celebrate each small victory together. The temple became more than just a building. It became a living symbol of their collective effort, their shared values, and their journey towards a common goal. The leader observed that when each person consciously applied themselves to their specific task with mindfulness and ethical conduct, not only did the temple grow stronger, but the individuals themselves experienced a deeper sense of fulfillment, purpose, and inner peace, a direct result of their commitment to the Dharma. This story beautifully illustrates the interconnectedness of the Noble Eightfold Path, which is comprised of right understanding, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. Each of these aspects is a vital thread in the tapestry of awakened living. Right understanding and right intention form the wisdom component, guiding our perspective and aspirations. Right speech, right action, and right livelihood constitute the ethical conduct, ensuring our interactions with the world are wholesome. Right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration comprise the mental discipline, cultivating a clear and stable mind. The Noble Eightfold Path, or Magga, is the practical means to achieve Nirodha, the cessation of suffering, which is the third noble truth. It is a path of gradual cultivation, not an overnight transformation. By consciously integrating these 8 aspects into our daily lives, we systematically dismantle the causes of dukkha, or suffering, and build the foundations for lasting peace and liberation. This path is not exclusive to monastics. It is accessible to anyone seeking a more meaningful and harmonious existence, offering a clear framework for ethical living, mental clarity, and spiritual growth, leading to a profound sense of inner freedom. Practicing the Noble Eightfold Path cultivates a deep sense of sila, or ethics, guiding us to live in a way that benefits ourselves and others, minimizing harm and maximizing well-being. It fosters prajna, or wisdom, allowing us to see the true nature of reality, including impermanence, anicca, and the interconnectedness of all things. And it develops samadhi, or concentration, training our minds to be steady, focused, and present. Together, these three pillars support a holistic transformation, leading us toward a life imbued with compassion, metta, and a profound sense of inner peace, a direct path to our Buddha mind. The Buddha taught, just as the great ocean has but one taste, the taste of salt, so also this Dharma has but one taste, the taste of liberation. This powerful analogy emphasizes the singular purpose and unifying essence of the Noble Eightfold Path. Regardless of which aspect we focus on or which practice we engage in, the ultimate aim is always the same: freedom from suffering, the cessation of dukkha, and the realization of our innate capacity for peace and awakening. Buddha's words remind us that the path, though multifaceted, is ultimately cohesive, guiding us toward a single, profound destination. Buddha's teaching inspires us to trust the efficacy of the Dharma, recognizing that its principles are universally applicable and timeless. It encourages us to engage with the path not as a series of disconnected practices, but as an integrated journey towards inner freedom. Each step, each act of right understanding or right effort, contributes to the overall taste of liberation. This holistic approach cultivates a deep sense of self-knowledge and self-compassion as we learn to navigate life's complexities with greater awareness, integrity, and a profound sense of purpose, knowing that our efforts contribute to our own and others' well-being. As you continue to rest deeply, allow the wisdom of the Noble Eightfold Path to gently settle within you. Feel the sense of clarity and purpose that comes from knowing there is a clear path towards peace and understanding. There is no rush, no pressure, only a gentle invitation to walk this path with an open heart and a mindful step. Rest in the knowledge that your journey is supported, guided by ancient wisdom, leading you towards a profound sense of inner peace and liberation, preparing you for deep restorative sleep. Now, with the practical wisdom of the Noble Eightfold Path gently settling within your heart, we will turn our attention to the profound comfort and strength that comes from connecting with those who share this journey. As you continue to breathe deeply and rest profoundly, prepare to explore the importance of community and shared wisdom on our path to inner harmony. We are ready to move towards the echo of ancestral wisdom and embracing the profound support of the Sangha. The echo of ancestral wisdom. Tonight, we open our hearts to the profound comfort and strength that comes from connecting with the echo of ancestral wisdom, recognizing that we are not alone on this path to inner peace. In Buddhist tradition, this connection is embodied by the Sangha, the community of practitioners who support one another in their journey towards awakening. It is the lineage of teachers, the shared experiences of fellow travelers, and the timeless teachings that have been passed down through generations. This collective wisdom offers guidance, inspiration, and a sense of belonging, reminding us that the challenges and insights we encounter have been faced and understood by countless others before us. Tapping into this rich heritage fosters a deep sense of security and encourages our own cultivation of mindfulness and compassion. In a remote mountain monastery, where ancient trees stood as silent sentinels, lived a young novice named Hiroki. He had recently embarked on his spiritual journey, eager to learn the Dharma, but often felt overwhelmed by the vastness of the teachings and the rigorous demands of monastic life. Doubts would creep into his mind, and feelings of isolation sometimes settled in his heart, making the path seem daunting and lonely. He longed for a deeper understanding, a clearer sense of direction, and the reassurance that he was truly on the right path, seeking inner freedom and a sense of belonging. One evening, during a quiet communal meal, an elder monk noticed Hiroki's thoughtful gaze. He approached the young novice and, with a gentle smile, invited him to join the nightly storytelling session around the crackling fireplace. There, under the soft glow of the flames, the elder monks would share tales of the great masters, of their struggles and triumphs, their moments of profound insight, and their unwavering dedication to the path. These were not just stories. They were living teachings, infused with the wisdom and spirit of those who had walked before them, a true echo of ancestral voices. Hiroki listened intently, captivated by the narratives. He heard stories of masters who had faced similar doubts and fears, who had grappled with the same questions about impermanence and suffering. He learned of their perseverance, their unwavering commitment to practice, and the profound liberation they found through their journey. With each tale, a sense of relief washed over him. He realized that his own struggles were not unique, but part of a universal human experience, understood and transcended by those in the lineage. The burden of isolation began to lift, replaced by a deep feeling of connection and shared humanity, a true sense of Sangha. Through these stories, Hiroki discovered the immense power of the Sangha, not just as a physical community, but as a living stream of wisdom that flows through time. He realized that even when he felt alone, he was always connected to this vast network of practitioners, past and present. The teachings of the Buddha and the insights of countless masters became a source of profound comfort and guidance. He felt a renewed sense of purpose, understanding that he was a part of something much larger than himself, a continuous unfolding of the Dharma, sustained by the collective effort and wisdom of generations. The importance of Sangha cannot be overstated on the path to awakening. It is a supportive community that provides encouragement, guidance, and a mirror for our own practice. When we share our experiences, our joys, and our difficulties with others who are also committed to the path, we feel less alone and more understood. The Sangha reminds us that we are all interconnected, striving towards a common goal of liberation from suffering, dukkha. It fosters a sense of collective responsibility and reinforces our individual commitment to ethical conduct, sila, and the cultivation of compassion, metta. Connecting with ancestral wisdom means drawing strength from the teachings and examples of those who have attained deep understanding. It is about honoring the lineage, recognizing that the path has been well trodden and that the wisdom gained through millennia of practice is available to us. This connection instills a deep sense of trust and confidence, reminding us that the path to inner peace is not an abstract concept, but a living, breathing reality, proven by countless individuals. It allows us to approach our own practice with a beginner's mind, shoshin, while also feeling the profound support of a vast spiritual heritage. Shunryu Suzuki Roshi, whom we can call Suzuki Roshi, often spoke of the Sangha as the body of the Buddha, emphasizing that the community itself embodies the awakened spirit. He taught, if you want to understand the Buddha, you should understand the Sangha. This profound statement underscores the living, breathing nature of spiritual community. It suggests that the teachings are not merely abstract concepts, but are made real and tangible through the collective practice, support, and shared experience of those walking the path together. Suzuki Roshi's words invite us to see the Sangha not just as a group of people, but as a dynamic expression of the Dharma in action, a source of profound inspiration and guidance. Suzuki Roshi's insight encourages us to actively engage with and appreciate the Sangha, recognizing its vital role in our spiritual journey. It reminds us that our individual practice is strengthened and enriched by the presence of others, by their wisdom, their challenges, and their unwavering commitment. When we connect with the Sangha, we find a sense of belonging, a shared purpose, and a collective energy that propels us forward. This communal aspect of the path fosters a deep sense of self-compassion and karuna, as we learn to support ourselves and others with boundless kindness, recognizing our shared humanity and our interconnectedness on this path to inner peace. As you continue to rest deeply, allow yourself to feel this profound connection to the vast stream of ancestral wisdom and the global Sangha. Feel the support, the guidance, and the sense of belonging that comes from knowing you are part of something much larger than yourself. There is nothing you need to carry alone. Countless others have walked this path, and their wisdom echoes through time, guiding your way. Rest in this peaceful knowing, allowing it to soothe your mind and heart, preparing you for deep, restorative sleep. Now, with the comforting echo of ancestral wisdom gently settling within your heart, we will turn our attention to the profound truth of our own inherent goodness and purity. As you continue to breathe deeply and rest profoundly, prepare to rediscover the unblemished essence that lies beneath all layers of conditioning and experience. We are ready to move towards resting in our original nature and embracing the profound wisdom of the Buddha mind. Resting in our original nature. Tonight, we embark upon a deeply liberating exploration of our original nature, recognizing the inherent purity, wisdom, and boundless peace that resides within each of us. In Zen Buddhism, this is often referred to as Buddha mind or no mind, mushin, a state of unconditioned awareness that is untouched by the fluctuating currents of thoughts, emotions, or external circumstances. It is our true essence, our authentic self, always present, always clear, always whole, regardless of what experiences may arise on the surface. To rest in this original nature is to let go of our learned identities, our attachments to self-concepts, and to simply abide in the spacious, open awareness that is our birthright, fostering a profound sense of inner freedom and liberation from suffering. In a serene valley, far removed from the clamor of human activity, lived an old monk known for his profound stillness and quiet joy. He spent his days in simple contemplation, often sitting for hours under a magnificent cherry tree, observing the world with an open heart and a clear mind. He rarely spoke, but his presence radiated a deep peace that touched anyone who encountered him. He seemed to embody a profound secret, a way of being that transcended the ordinary struggles of life, a deep connection to his true, unconditioned self, his Buddha mind, his original nature. One spring afternoon, as the cherry tree blossomed in a glorious display of delicate pink and white petals, the old monk sat in meditation. A young, earnest student, burdened by his own intellectual pursuits and the constant striving for enlightenment, approached him. The student, filled with questions about the nature of the self and the path to liberation, watched the monk, hoping for a profound teaching, a complex answer to his many inquiries. He observed the petals falling like gentle snow, landing softly on the monk's robes, on the ground around him, and even on the monk's serene face. The monk, seemingly oblivious to the student's presence, simply continued to sit, his gaze soft, his breath even. He was not actively concentrating, nor was he trying to achieve anything. He was simply present, fully absorbed in the moment, watching the petals fall, feeling the gentle breeze, hearing the distant chirping of birds. He was in a state of mushin, no mind, a state of effortless awareness where thoughts and distinctions had dissolved, leaving only pure, unconditioned presence. It was a profound demonstration of resting in his original nature, unburdened by concepts or efforts, fully embodied and free. The student, initially puzzled by the monk's apparent inaction, slowly began to feel a shift within himself. The urgency of his questions began to subside, replaced by a quiet awe. He realized that the monk was not doing anything, yet he was fully present, fully alive, completely at peace. The monk was simply being, resting in the boundless spaciousness of his true self, his Buddha mind. This was the essence of original nature, not something to be attained, but something to be recognized, something that is always already there, beneath the layers of our conditioned minds, pure and unblemished. To rest in our original nature is to realize that our true self is not defined by our thoughts, emotions, roles, or external circumstances. These are all transient, subject to impermanence, anicca. Our Buddha mind, our fundamental awareness, is like the vast, clear sky, while our thoughts and emotions are like the clouds that drift across it. The clouds come and go, but the sky itself remains untouched, ever present, ever spacious. This realization brings a profound sense of inner freedom, a liberation from the constant identification with our fleeting experiences, allowing us to find deep peace in our unchanging essence. This practice involves a gentle letting go of our mental constructs, our self-concepts, and our attachments to how we think we should be. It is about returning to a state of pure, unconditioned awareness, a beginner's mind, shoshin, that is open, receptive, and free from judgment. When we rest in our original nature, we experience a profound sense of contentment and sufficiency, realizing that we are already complete, already whole, already at peace. There is nothing to add, nothing to subtract. We simply abide in the boundless spaciousness of our true self, our inherent wisdom, prajna. The sixth Zen patriarch, Huineng, whom we can call Huineng, famously taught, "Originally there is nothing. Where can dust alight?" This profound statement speaks directly to the purity and emptiness of our original nature. It suggests that our fundamental essence is like a clear mirror, initially without any dust or defilements. The dust represents our attachments, our delusions, our conditioned thoughts and emotions that temporarily obscure this inherent clarity. Huineng's words invite us to realize that the path to awakening is not about creating something new, but about recognizing and returning to what has always been present, our pristine Buddha mind, free from craving and suffering. Huineng's teaching encourages us to look beyond the surface of our experiences and to recognize the inherent clarity and spaciousness that lies beneath. It is a call to release the identification with our fleeting thoughts and emotions, and to rest in the deeper, unchanging awareness that is our true self. This practice fosters a deep sense of self-knowledge and self-compassion as we learn to gently let go of self-judgment and embrace our inherent goodness. By abiding in our original nature, we find a profound sense of inner peace, a quiet knowing that we are fundamentally complete and interconnected with all of existence, experiencing true nirvana. As you continue to rest deeply, allow yourself to gently release any ideas about who you are or what you should be. Imagine yourself as the vast, clear sky, boundless and serene. Let any thoughts or feelings simply drift by without holding on to them. Rest in the profound peace of your original nature, your Buddha mind, knowing that you are inherently whole, complete, and perfectly at peace. This is your true home, your deepest sanctuary, preparing you for deep, restorative sleep. Now, with this profound understanding of our original nature gently settling within your heart, we will turn our attention to another essential practice for integrating peace into our daily lives: the art of conscious pauses. As you continue to breathe deeply and rest profoundly, prepare to discover how intentionally weaving moments of stillness into your day can bring renewed energy, clarity, and a deeper connection to the natural flow of life. We are ready to move towards the art of sacred pauses and embracing the profound wisdom of Wu Wei, the art of sacred pauses. Tonight, we explore the art of sacred pauses, a powerful practice that invites us to intentionally weave moments of stillness and conscious awareness into the fabric of our busy lives. In a world that often glorifies constant activity and productivity, the wisdom of pausing offers a radical antidote, allowing us to step out of the relentless current of doing and into the spaciousness of being. These brief, intentional stops are not a waste of time, but rather essential moments for recalibration, for returning to our center, and for reconnecting with our inner peace. By honoring these sacred pauses, we cultivate a deeper sense of full presence, enhance our mindfulness, and align ourselves with the natural flow of existence, embodying the profound wisdom of Wu Wei. In a bustling ancient marketplace, where the air hummed with the chatter of merchants and the clatter of artisans, lived a highly skilled artisan named Yumi. Her pottery was renowned throughout the land, and demand for her exquisite pieces was constant. Yumi worked tirelessly, often from dawn until late into the night, her hands constantly shaping, glazing, and firing clay. While her work brought her great satisfaction, the relentless pace left her feeling perpetually drained, her mind often racing with endless tasks, and a subtle sense of exhaustion, a quiet form of suffering, often settled in her heart. One particularly hectic day, as Yumi felt the familiar grip of overwhelm, an old wise tea master who often visited the market observed her. He noticed the tension in her shoulders, the furrow in her brow, and the slight tremor in her hands. Approaching her with a gentle smile, he offered her a small cup of freshly brewed herbal tea. "Yumi," he said softly, "even the most productive bamboo bends with the wind. To break, it must resist. To flow, it must pause." He then demonstrated, taking a slow, deliberate sip, his eyes closing for a moment in quiet contemplation, embodying a profound sense of Wu Wei. Yumi, though initially reluctant to interrupt her work, accepted the tea. As she took her first sip, she found herself unconsciously taking a deep breath, the warm steam soothing her senses. For just a few moments, she allowed herself to simply be, to taste the tea, to feel the warmth of the cup in her hands, to hear the distant sounds of the market without needing to engage with them. It was a brief, yet profound interruption to her relentless activity. In that small sacred pause, a subtle shift occurred within her. The tension in her body began to ease, and her mind felt a little clearer, a moment of true detachment. Inspired by the tea master's simple wisdom, Yumi began to integrate these sacred pauses into her busy day. Every hour or so, she would intentionally stop for just a minute or two. She might simply close her eyes and take 3 conscious breaths, or step outside to feel the sun on her face, or silently savor a sip of water. These brief moments of stillness became her anchors, her conscious acts of returning to the present moment, practicing anapanasati. she discovered that by honoring these pauses, her energy levels improved, her concentration deepened, and her creativity flowed more freely without the previous sense of frantic effort. The art of sacred pauses is a powerful practice for integrating mindfulness sati into the rhythm of daily life. It is not about adding another task to our already busy schedules, but about intentionally creating small pockets of stillness and awareness within our existing activities. These pauses allow us to interrupt the automatic pilot mode, to check in with ourselves, to release accumulated tension, and to reconnect with our inner peace. By regularly stepping back, even for a few breaths, we cultivate a deeper sense of self-knowledge and self-compassion, preventing burnout and fostering a more sustainable, joyful engagement with life. Embracing the natural flow, or wu wei, means acting in harmony with the natural order of things, without force or struggle. Sacred pauses are a practical application of wu wei. When we pause, we are not resisting the flow of life. Rather, we are aligning with a deeper, more inherent rhythm, allowing ourselves to be guided by an intuitive wisdom. This practice helps us to avoid craving, trishna, and the subsequent suffering that arises from constantly pushing against the current. Instead, we learn to move with greater ease, efficiency, and grace, finding a profound sense of inner freedom in the effortless unfolding of each moment, fostering equanimity. The ancient Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu, whom we can call Lao Tse, wisely taught, "Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished." This profound observation speaks directly to the power of aligning with the natural flow and the wisdom of sacred pauses. Lao Tse's words encourage us to release the illusion that constant rushing and striving are necessary for achievement. Instead, they invite us to trust in a deeper, more organic rhythm, recognizing that true progress often emerges from a place of patience, presence, and effortless action. It is a call to embody wu wei, to find efficiency not in speed, but in harmony with the inherent wisdom of existence. Lao Tse's teaching reminds us that when we allow ourselves to pause, to breathe, and to simply be, we create space for clarity, for intuition, and for a more effective way of engaging with our tasks. It is in these moments of stillness that solutions often reveal themselves, that our energy is replenished, and that our perspective is broadened. This practice of sacred pauses is a pathway to greater contentment and sufficiency, as we learn to appreciate the richness of the present moment and to trust in the natural unfolding of life. It fosters a deep sense of inner peace, allowing us to move through our days with grace and wisdom. As you continue to rest deeply, allow yourself to imagine weaving these sacred pauses into your own life. Feel the potential for renewed energy, for clarity, and for a deeper connection to each moment. There is no need to rush, no need to strive. Simply rest in the profound wisdom of stillness, knowing that in these quiet moments, everything you need is already present within you. You are perfectly held, perfectly supported, preparing for deep restorative sleep, aligning with the natural flow of existence. Now, with the wisdom of sacred pauses gently settling within your heart, we will turn our attention to another powerful practice for transforming our relationship with discomfort and challenge. As you continue to breathe deeply and rest profoundly, prepare to explore how meeting difficult experiences with a gentle, observing presence can lead to profound liberation and inner peace. We are ready to move towards transforming suffering with awareness and embracing the profound wisdom of Vipassana, transforming suffering with awareness. Tonight, we delve into the profound practice of transforming suffering with awareness, recognizing that while discomfort, or dukkha, is an inevitable part of life, our relationship to it can be profoundly altered through mindful observation. This practice, deeply rooted in vipassana, or equanimous observation, invites us to meet our internal and external challenges not with resistance or aversion, but with a gentle, open, and non-judgmental presence. It is about bringing sati, or mindfulness, to our difficult experiences, allowing us to understand their true nature, their impermanence, anicca, and ultimately to release their grip on our hearts and minds. This path offers a profound sense of inner freedom and peace, even amidst life's inevitable challenges. In a remote farming community, nestled in a valley prone to harsh weather, lived a diligent farmer who faced a particularly difficult harvest season. A prolonged drought had withered his crops, and then sudden torrential rains threatened to wash away what little remained. The farmer felt a familiar wave of anxiety and despair wash over him, a deep-seated suffering that often accompanied such agricultural setbacks. His mind raced with worries about his family, his livelihood, and the seemingly insurmountable challenges before him. He found himself caught in a cycle of fear and frustration, struggling against circumstances he could not control. However, this farmer had also been taught the practice of vipassana, a form of meditation that cultivates deep insight through equanimous observation. Instead of allowing himself to be swept away by his worries, he decided to apply this practice to his current predicament. He sat quietly in his small hut, listening to the drumming rain, and consciously turned his attention inward, observing the thoughts and feelings that arose within him. He noticed the tightness in his chest, the knot in his stomach, the rapid pace of his thoughts, and the subtle sting of fear, all without judgment, all with a gentle, observing awareness. He did not try to push the feelings away, nor did he cling to them. He simply observed them, like clouds passing across the sky, or leaves floating down a stream. He noticed their intensity, their duration, and their eventual fading. He recognized that these feelings, powerful as they were not permanent. They were subject to anicca, impermanence. With each conscious breath, practicing anapanasati, he created a spaciousness around his internal experiences, allowing them to arise and pass without overwhelming him. This gentle yet persistent observation brought a subtle shift, a quiet sense of calm amidst the inner storm. This practice taught the farmer that while he could not control the weather or the outcome of his harvest, he could profoundly influence his internal response to these challenges. By bringing mindfulness, sati, to his suffering, he was able to transform his relationship with it. He realized that much of his dukkha, or suffering, stemmed not just from the external event, but from his resistance to it, his craving, trishna, for things to be different. Through equanimous observation, he began to release this resistance, allowing a deeper sense of acceptance and inner peace to emerge, even as the external challenges persisted. Transforming suffering with awareness is about cultivating a radical form of detachment, not from life, but from our habitual reactions to it. It involves meeting pain, fear, anger, or sadness with a gentle, inquiring mind, asking, "What is this feeling? Where do I feel it in my body? What is its nature?" By doing so, we gain insight, prajna, into the mechanics of our own minds and hearts. This process is not about intellectual analysis, but about direct, experiential observation, allowing us to see how our attachments and aversions fuel our dukkha, and how releasing them leads to liberation, or nirodha. This practice also deepens our compassion, karuna, not just for others, but for ourselves. When we witness our own suffering with kindness and understanding, we develop self-compassion, recognizing that to be human is to experience a wide range of emotions, both pleasant and unpleasant. This gentle self-acceptance creates a safe inner space for healing and growth, allowing us to move through difficult times with greater resilience and grace. It is a path to self-knowledge, enabling us to understand our patterns and to cultivate a more peaceful and harmonious inner landscape, leading to a profound sense of inner freedom. The great Buddhist master Ajahn Chah, whom we can call Ajahn Chah, taught, "If you let go a little, you will have a little peace. If you let go a lot, you will have a lot of peace. If you let go completely, you will have complete peace." This profound teaching speaks directly to the liberating power of releasing our grip on suffering through awareness. Ajahn Chah's words remind us that our peace is directly proportional to our willingness to practice detachment, to observe our experiences without clinging or aversion. It is a continuous invitation to let go, not just of external things, but of our internal resistance to what is, allowing us to find true liberation. Ajahn Chah's wisdom encourages us to see every moment of discomfort as an opportunity for practice, a chance to cultivate equanimous observation. By meeting our dukkha with a gentle, non-reactive presence, we gradually learn to disidentify from it, recognizing that we are not our suffering, but the awareness that observes it. This profound shift in perspective leads to a deeper sense of inner freedom and contentment. It is a path to nirvana, not as a distant goal, but as a present reality, accessible through the continuous practice of letting go and mindful observation, allowing us to rest in our Buddha mind. As you continue to rest deeply, allow yourself to gently observe any sensations, thoughts, or feelings that may be present, without judgment or effort. Imagine them as waves on the ocean, arising and passing, while you remain the deep, still ocean floor. There is nothing you need to fix, nothing you need to change. Simply observe with kindness and acceptance. Rest in this profound sense of inner spaciousness and peace, knowing that you possess the inherent capacity to meet all of life with grace and calm, preparing for deep, restorative sleep. Now, with the liberating wisdom of transforming suffering with awareness gently settling within your heart, we will turn our attention to another essential aspect of our journey towards inner peace: the practice of extending profound kindness and understanding to our own inner world. As you continue to breathe deeply and rest profoundly, prepare to open your heart to a boundless sense of warmth and acceptance for yourself. We are ready to move towards the gift of self-compassion and embracing the profound power of metta for ourselves. The gift of self-compassion. Tonight, we embrace the gift of self-compassion, a profound and often overlooked aspect of inner peace. In a world that frequently encourages self-criticism and striving for perfection, the practice of extending kindness, understanding, and acceptance to ourselves is revolutionary. Just as we would offer gentle words and support to a dear friend facing difficulties, self-compassion invites us to treat our own inner experiences, our mistakes, our perceived flaws, our moments of suffering dukkha, with the same warmth and non-judgmental presence. This cultivation of metta, loving kindness directed inward, is a vital step toward healing, resilience, and a deep sense of self-knowledge, allowing us to rest in our original nature, our Buddha mind. In a tranquil village nestled by a flowing river, lived a bright young student named Kiko, whose mind was sharp and eager to learn. Kiko excelled in her studies, always striving for perfection, yet she carried a heavy burden of self-criticism. Whenever she made a mistake, no matter how small, her inner voice would become harsh and unforgiving, dwelling on her perceived failures and diminishing her accomplishments. This constant internal judgment created a subtle but persistent sense of anxiety and dissatisfaction, a quiet form of suffering. Even when she achieved success, she often felt she was not good enough, constantly chasing an elusive ideal. One day, Kiko confided in her grandmother, a woman of profound wisdom and gentle spirit. "Grandmother," Kiko lamented, "I try so hard, but I am never truly satisfied with myself. My mistakes haunt me, and I feel I am constantly falling short." Her grandmother listened patiently, her eyes filled with karuna, compassion. She then asked Kiko, "My dear, if your closest friend came to you with a similar struggle, how would you respond? Would you scold them, or would you offer comfort and understanding?" Kiko immediately replied, "I would offer them kindness, reassurance, and tell them it is okay to make mistakes." Her grandmother smiled. "Then why do you deny yourself the same boundless metta you so readily offer to others?" The grandmother then guided Kiko in a simple yet powerful practice. She asked Kiko to imagine her inner critic as a separate entity, a small, scared part of herself. Then, Kiko was invited to gently turn her attention to this part, offering it the same words of kindness, understanding, and acceptance she would offer her friend. It felt awkward at first, but as Kiko persisted, a profound shift began to occur. She started to soften towards herself, recognizing her efforts, her humanity, and her inherent worth. This experience taught Kiko the profound power of self-compassion. She realized that her harsh self-criticism was not motivating her, but rather diminishing her spirit and creating unnecessary suffering. By extending metta inward, she began to heal the internal wounds caused by years of self-judgment. She learned to acknowledge her mistakes with a gentle understanding, seeing them as opportunities for growth rather than failures. This practice of self-compassion became her anchor, providing a stable foundation of inner peace and resilience, allowing her to approach life's challenges with greater equanimity and a sense of profound well-being. The practice of self-compassion is a crucial component of our journey towards inner peace. It involves three core elements: self-kindness versus self-judgment, a sense of common humanity versus isolation, and mindfulness, sati, versus over-identification with thoughts and emotions. When we are self-compassionate, we treat ourselves with warmth and understanding, recognizing that imperfections and difficulties are an inevitable part of the human experience. This fosters a deep sense of connection, reminding us that our struggles are not unique, but shared by all beings, cultivating a boundless sense of karuna. Cultivating self-compassion is not about self-pity or complacency. Rather, it is a courageous act of embracing our full humanity, with all its strengths and vulnerabilities. It is a powerful antidote to craving, trishna, and the subsequent suffering, dukkha, that arises from constantly striving to be other than we are. By offering ourselves the gift of kindness and acceptance, we create an internal environment where true healing and growth can occur. This leads to a deeper sense of contentment, sufficiency, and a profound inner freedom, allowing us to rest in our original nature, unburdened by self-imposed expectations. Pema Chodron, whom we can call Pema Chodron, a revered Buddhist nun, wisely teaches, compassion for others begins with kindness to ourselves. This profound statement highlights the interconnectedness of metta and karuna, emphasizing that our capacity to offer genuine compassion to the world is directly linked to our ability to extend it to our own inner being. Pema Chodron's words invite us to recognize that self-care is not selfish, but a fundamental act of cultivating the inner resources necessary to truly serve others and contribute to the well-being of the Sangha. Pema Chodron's teaching encourages us to soften our hearts towards our own experiences, to meet our internal struggles with the same tenderness and understanding we would offer a beloved friend. By doing so, we create a spaciousness within ourselves, a place where healing and transformation can occur. This practice of self-compassion is a pathway to profound self-knowledge, allowing us to understand our patterns of suffering and to gently release them. It is a continuous act of returning to our Buddha mind, our inherent goodness, and finding a deep sense of inner peace that radiates outward, enriching all our interactions and leading to a more compassionate existence. As you continue to rest deeply, allow a gentle warmth to spread through your chest, radiating outward from your heart. Feel this warmth as boundless kindness, first for yourself, then for all beings. Let any self-criticism or judgment simply dissolve, replaced by a profound sense of peace and worthiness. You are deserving of this kindness, just as all beings are. Rest in this feeling of interconnected compassion, allowing it to soothe your mind and heart, preparing you for deep, restorative sleep. Now, with the profound gift of self-compassion gently settling within your heart, we will turn our attention to another liberating insight that challenges our most fundamental assumptions about ourselves and the world. As you continue to breathe deeply and rest profoundly, prepare to explore the subtle nature of identity and the boundless freedom that comes from seeing beyond the illusion of a fixed, separate self. We are ready to move towards beyond the veil of self-illusion and embracing the profound wisdom of anatta, beyond the veil of self-illusion. Tonight, we embark upon a deep and liberating exploration beyond the veil of self-illusion, delving into the profound Buddhist teaching of anatta, or no self. This is not an assertion that you don't exist, but rather an insight that there is no permanent, unchanging, independently existing self or soul at the core of our being. What we perceive as self is a dynamic, ever-changing collection of physical and mental phenomena, constantly arising and passing, interconnected with everything else. Understanding anatta is a radical form of detachment that frees us from the craving, trishna, and suffering dukkha that arise from clinging to a fixed identity, opening us to a boundless sense of inner freedom and the spaciousness of our original nature, our Buddha mind. In a quiet, ancient village, where stories were woven into the very fabric of daily life, lived an old storyteller named Haru. For decades, Haru had enchanted audiences with his tales of heroes and villains, love and loss, wisdom and folly. He was known throughout the land simply as Haru the storyteller, and this identity had become central to his sense of self. He took immense pride in his craft, meticulously honing his narratives, and felt a deep connection to the role he played in his community. His life revolved around the stories he told and the identity he had built around them. One cool evening, as Haru sat by a crackling fire preparing for a storytelling session, he found himself reflecting on the nature of his own identity. He thought, "Am I Haru, the physical body that sits here? Am I Haru, the collection of memories of past stories? Am I Haru, the voice that weaves the words? With each question, he found that the self he was trying to pinpoint seemed to elude his grasp. His body was constantly changing, his memories were fluid and selective, and his voice was merely an instrument for the stories that flowed through him. He began to feel a subtle unease, a sense of groundlessness, as his fixed idea of Haru the storyteller began to unravel. A young, perceptive listener, who had often sat at Haru's feet, noticed his contemplative mood. "Master Haru," she asked gently, "when you tell a story, are you the story itself, or are you the space through which the story unfolds?" Haru paused, considering her words. He realized that the stories were not his in a fixed sense. They were ancient tales, passed down through generations, shaped by countless voices and constantly reimagined by each listener. He was merely a conduit, a vessel through which the narratives came alive in that particular moment. His identity as Haru the storyteller was a fluid, changing narrative itself, not a solid, unchanging entity. This insight was profoundly liberating for Haru. He realized that clinging to the fixed idea of Haru the storyteller had created a subtle form of suffering, a pressure to always perform, to always be a certain way. By understanding that his identity was not a solid, unchanging self, but a dynamic, interdependent process, he felt a profound sense of inner freedom. He was still Haru, still a storyteller, but now he embodied it with a lightness and spontaneity that had been absent before. He understood that his self was empty of a fixed essence, yet full of dynamic potential, interconnected with all the stories and all the listeners. The teaching of anatta, or no self, is a radical and liberating insight into the nature of existence. It challenges our deeply ingrained tendency to identify with a separate, permanent I or me. When we investigate closely, we find that the self is an ever-changing stream of thoughts, feelings, sensations, and perceptions, all arising and passing in dependence upon causes and conditions. There is no independent, unchanging entity that persists throughout life. This understanding of anatta, along with anicca, impermanence, and dukkha, suffering, forms the three marks of existence, fundamental truths in Buddhist philosophy. Embracing anatta leads to profound non-attachment. When we realize that there is no fixed self to protect or defend, we naturally release the craving, trishna, and aversion that arise from ego clinging. This frees us from the fear of loss, the need for validation, and the constant striving for self-preservation. It opens us to a boundless sense of compassion, karuna, as we recognize our deep interconnectedness with all beings, understanding that our perceived separation is an illusion. This path to self-knowledge is a direct route to inner peace and a profound sense of liberation, leading to nirvana. The Buddha taught, "All phenomena are without self." This concise statement encapsulates the essence of anatta. It means that everything we perceive, whether internal or external, lacks an inherent, independent, and permanent essence. This includes not only our physical body and mental states, but also all objects and experiences in the universe. Buddha's words are an invitation to observe reality directly, to inquire into the nature of our own experience, and to see beyond the conventional labels and concepts that create the illusion of separation and solidity. It is a profound teaching that guides us toward a direct, experiential understanding of emptiness, sunyata. Buddha's teaching on anatta is not meant to be a nihilistic or disempowering doctrine. On the contrary, it is deeply liberating. When we let go of the illusion of a fixed self, we open ourselves to the boundless potential of our original nature, our Buddha mind. We realize that our actions, our karma, are not performed by a separate entity, but arise from the interconnected web of existence, shaping the future with profound responsibility. This understanding fosters a deep sense of ethics, sila, and a compassionate engagement with the world, knowing that our well-being is inextricably linked to the well-being of all. It is a path to true inner freedom. As you continue to rest deeply, allow yourself to gently release any rigid ideas about who you are. Imagine yourself as a dynamic, ever-changing stream of experience, interconnected with all of life. There is no fixed you to grasp onto, only the boundless, open space of awareness. Rest in this profound understanding of anatta, allowing it to dissolve any remaining tension or resistance, bringing a deep sense of inner freedom and peace. You are perfectly held within this boundless, ever-changing reality, preparing for deep, restorative sleep. Now, with the liberating wisdom of seeing beyond the veil of self-illusion gently settling within your heart, we will turn our attention to the ultimate destination of our journey, a state of profound inner peace and liberation from suffering. As you continue to breathe deeply and rest profoundly, prepare to experience the gentle whisper of ultimate freedom, a quiet knowing that transcends all words. We are ready to move towards the gentle whisper of nirvana and embracing the profound peace of nirodha, the gentle whisper of nirvana. Tonight, we arrive at the culmination of our journey, exploring the gentle whisper of nirvana, a state of profound inner peace and liberation from suffering. In Buddhist philosophy, nirvana or nirodha signifies the cessation of dukkha, the extinguishing of the fires of craving, trishna, and aversion. It is not an external heaven or a place to be reached after death, but a deeply transformative experience available in this very life, a radical shift in our perception and relationship to reality. To touch nirvana is to realize our inherent inner freedom, to rest in our original nature, our Buddha mind, unburdened by the illusions of a separate self or the relentless pull of attachment. It is a quiet knowing that transcends all words, a boundless spaciousness that is our deepest home, embodying the ultimate goal of the Noble Eightfold Path. In a land of endless journeys and tireless quests, there lived a weary traveler named Kyle, whose life had been a relentless pursuit of distant horizons. He had scaled towering mountains, crossed vast deserts, and navigated treacherous seas, always seeking a legendary sanctuary, a place of ultimate peace and rest. His heart, though filled with courage, was also heavy with the weight of his striving, the constant effort and the subtle ache of unfulfilled longing. He carried the burden of his expectations, believing that true peace lay just beyond the next ridge, just across the next river, always out of reach. One sweltering afternoon, exhausted and parched, Kale stumbled upon a quiet grove, shaded by ancient, gnarled trees. A small, crystal-clear spring bubbled from the earth, its cool water inviting. He had not been seeking this particular grove. It simply appeared before him, a serendipitous discovery after years of intense effort. As he drank deeply from the spring, feeling the cool liquid soothe his parched throat, a profound sense of relief washed over him. He sat beneath the trees, feeling the soft earth beneath him, listening to the gentle rustle of leaves and the quiet murmur of the water. In that moment, Kyle realized that the sanctuary he had tirelessly sought was not a distant destination, but a state of being, a profound inner peace that arose when he simply stopped striving. The ceaseless quest, the relentless pursuit, the craving, trishna, that had driven him for so long simply dissolved. There was nothing more to achieve, nothing more to find. He was simply present, fully at rest, completely at peace. The quiet grove mirrored the stillness that blossomed within him, a profound cessation of all striving, a deep sense of inner freedom that transcended all his previous efforts and expectations. This experience was Kale's glimpse of nirvana, the realization that liberation from suffering, dukkha, is not about acquiring something new, but about the profound cessation of craving and attachment. It is the extinguishing of the mental fires that fuel our dissatisfaction and restlessness. He understood that the peace he sought was not external, but an inherent quality of his own being, revealed when he released the grip of his relentless wanting. This was the ultimate detachment, a letting go of the need to be anywhere or anything other than exactly where and what he was in that present moment, a deep acceptance of the natural flow of existence. Nirvana, or nirodha, is often described as the unbinding of the mind from the cycle of suffering, the ultimate goal of the Dharma, the Buddha's teachings. It is a state characterized by profound joy, peace, and freedom, where the illusions of a separate self, anatta, and the impermanent nature of all phenomena, anicca, are fully realized. This realization leads to a complete release from the cycle of karma, freeing us from the endless round of existence driven by desire and aversion. It is a state of boundless spaciousness, a return to our original nature, our Buddha mind, where all distinctions dissolve into a luminous, interconnected awareness. To experience nirvana is to abide in a state of profound equanimity, where the mind is unperturbed by the ups and downs of life. It is the ultimate expression of wisdom, prajna, a direct, experiential understanding of reality that transcends all conceptual knowledge. This state is not passive. It is an active, vibrant peace that allows us to engage with the world with boundless compassion, metta, and karuna, free from the constraints of egoic striving. It is the realization that we are already complete, already whole, already at peace, and that this truth has always been present, waiting to be rediscovered within us, fostering a deep sense of self-knowledge. The Buddha famously stated, "Nirvana is the highest happiness." This profound declaration challenges our conventional understanding of happiness, which is often tied to fleeting pleasures and external conditions. Buddha's words point to a happiness that is unconditioned, unshakable, and eternal, arising from the complete cessation of suffering and the liberation from all attachments. It is a happiness that transcends joy and sorrow, a profound inner peace that is always available, always present, once we release the mental constructs that obscure it. This is the ultimate goal of the Noble Truths and the Noble Eightfold Path. Buddha's teaching inspires us to recognize that this highest happiness, this state of nirvana, is not a distant, unattainable ideal, but a tangible possibility within our reach. It encourages us to cultivate the practices that lead to this liberation: mindfulness, sati, conscious breathing, anapanasati, equanimous observation, vipassana, and the ethical conduct, sila, that purifies the mind. By diligently walking the Dharma, we gradually dismantle the causes of our dukkha, opening ourselves to the boundless spaciousness and profound peace of our original nature. It is a journey of self-compassion, a return to our inherent wholeness and inner freedom. As you continue to rest deeply, allow yourself to feel this gentle whisper of nirvana, this profound peace that comes from the cessation of all striving. Imagine your mind as a vast, clear sky, where all clouds of thought and emotion have dissolved, leaving only boundless spaciousness and serene stillness. There is nothing more to do, nothing more to achieve. Simply rest in this profound sense of inner liberation, knowing that you are complete, whole, and perfectly at peace in this very moment, preparing for deep, restorative sleep. This is your true nature, your deepest sanctuary, your ultimate home, a state of profound contentment. Returning to deep rest. As this journey of deep reflection gently draws to a close, allow your awareness to slowly reground itself within your physical body, feeling the comfortable support beneath you. Notice the gentle weight of your limbs, the soft contact of your clothes against your skin, and the steady, calming rhythm of your breath. There is nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to go. You are perfectly here, perfectly present in this moment. This is sufficient. You are sufficient. Feel the profound peace that has settled within your mind and heart, a quiet knowing that has been deepened by these reflections. Allow any remaining thoughts or worries to simply float away, like distant clouds on the horizon, no longer holding their grip on your attention. Your mind is calm, your heart is soft, and your entire being is enveloped in a profound sense of tranquility. Now, gently prepare your body and mind for a deep, restorative sleep. Allow your muscles to completely relax, softening from your toes to the crown of your head. Feel yourself sinking deeper into the surface that supports you, surrendering completely to the embrace of rest. This is a time for profound healing, for renewal, for simply being. Remember the peace you have cultivated tonight, the wisdom you have rediscovered within yourself. This inner sanctuary is always available to you, a quiet haven you can return to whenever your heart seeks solace, whenever your mind yearns for stillness. You carry this peace within you, always. Embrace the wonder of this simple act of adoring, allowing yourself to fully surrender to the natural process of sleep. You are a miracle of existence, deserving of all the peace and rest that the universe offers. Let go of any remaining expectations or demands, and simply allow yourself to drift into a deep, peaceful slumber. May your sleep be profound and rejuvenating, filled with the quiet echoes of wisdom and the boundless peace you have cultivated. When you awaken, may you carry this renewed sense of calm and clarity into your day. Rest well, dear friend. If these words have touched something deep within you, if this space has offered you a moment of peace, please consider subscribing to keep this sanctuary readily accessible. Good night.